to me, finding self-remembering has been healing. It's something you can really sense as very important.
Yeah.
Very few speak about it. Almost no one in the spiritual world, they don't know
Yeah.
about
Yeah. I think I might even been attempting to do it and didn't even know what it was. Yeah. Yeah.
that you can have a turning without light and light without turning.
Woo.
So we need both.
Yes.
You can pay attention to yourself and to your awareness, but you don't feel that flash, that awakening.
Mm.
And you can have a sort of awakening and you get lost. You don't even pay attention to yourself. Inner considering depends on identification, identification with what we do. But then there are resistances, psychological resistances, buffers that will, in a sense, protect us against something which is painful. We don't want to see ourselves as we are because that's a real shock. So we unconsciously generate psychological arguments and ideas and ways of perceiving to sleep better. Those are their psychological resistances. And Gurdjieff said that if we did not have those resistances, we would get mad, especially in the beginning when there are so many contradictions that we wouldn't be able to stand them all at once. So little by little, we have to demolish those walls and know our resistances and why we have those resistances. The self-tranquilizing inner God is very dangerous, especially when you are progressing in your work and leave ground to Satan, to the adversary, and go back to old habits of reaction, which are negative. And then there is the wrong work of the centers. When the mind steals energy from the sexual center, for instance, by fantasies, not just sexual fantasies, but thinking too much, people write books squandering sexual energy. They make movies and music squandering that vital energy. Or the emotional center can also steal energy from the sexual center when we get agitated with negative emotions, for instance. And the problem is that the sexual center has a vital energy that can be used either for reproduction or for converting energy into subtle garments. It's an energy that is present in the astral body. And within the astral body, we develop the mental body. So squandering that sexual energy is a path to destruction, to death. And it can be squandered in many ways, not just through the sexual center. It's very interesting to see how the centers steal energy to each other like thieves. When the mind wants to interfere with the body, we
Yeah.
become clumsy. You need a quick action, but your thought interferes.
Yeah.
You see that in dances, for instance, in the movements developed by Gurdjieff. It's very easy to see how the mind wants to catch up, to understand what you are doing, but once you try to grasp the movement with your mind, this with your conceptual mind, you are lost.
Yes.
You have to watch, to be attentive, to unite mind and body. Then the feeling center elevates yourself to a higher intelligence and you can act quicker, faster. That's the key.
Thank you for that. Yeah. I see that.
I even see how some approaches to self-remembering are incomplete. I don't know if you have read the book The Secret of the Golden Flower.
I did start it. I started it online, and I got a good bit into it, but I got the book actually delivered, so I'm gonna read the book. Yeah, yeah. I was actually just reading the In Search of the Miraculous. I'm halfway through that right now, so I'm gonna read the Golden Flower next.
Mhm. That's interesting in the sense you see glimpses of self-remembering when it speaks about turning the light,
Yes.
especially the translation of Thomas Cleary, which is the only one that is
Yeah.
worth. Because the
Right.
one by Richard Wilhelm is awful. It's the one used by Jung.
Young. Yeah. Young.
In Thomas Cleary's translation, the turning of the light is a reference to self-remembering. But it's
Yeah.
very interesting when the wise man that brought such work says that you can have a turning without light and light without turning. So we need both.
Yes.
You can pay attention to yourself and to your awareness, but you don't feel that flash, that awakening.
Mm,
And you can have a sort of awakening and you get lost. You don't even pay attention to yourself, as in some lucid dreams where you lose the awareness
yeah.
of yourself because you are totally amazed.
Right.
And it has very good spots, but that practice, which in the book is the center, is somehow what allows you to build up garments of light, as it says. It's not something that we can understand mentally or reading or just trying to pay attention to yourself. There are more aspects, interaction with others, or interaction with your responsibility as a being that comes to perform not just the work for yourself, but for the whole cosmos. I don't see that very well expressed, no? This type of ancient work, which is very individualistic. You know, Taoist and Oriental teachers, well, they live in nature and they wrote those works in paradises like this one. It's very easy to speak about these teachings in a paradise, but what about someone who is living in a city, or in a chaos? That's where self-remembering gets really interesting.
Yes.
You see the way we react and the challenges of this totally mad society. You can keep your head straight when every head is going crazy, said the author of Mowgli, Rudyard Kipling, the Indian writer. Then you shall be called a man. You shall be a true man. Very,
Right.
that's in
Yeah.
the poem, if very beautiful poem.
Absolutely.
Maybe I will publish it in the blog. There I have been publishing quotes of self-remembering that can be very inspiring. To me, finding self-remembering has been healing. It's something you can really sense as very important.
Yeah.
Very few speak about it. Almost no one in the spiritual world, they don't know
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
it.
That's great.
What Gurdjieff said. People
I,
don't know.
yeah. I think I might even been attempting to do it and didn't even know what it was. you, you know, until thank goodness, I met you and helping me along the way here very greatly.
Mhm. Okay, I have to teach in some minutes. We can do a brief sitting, and if someone
Please.
wants to join,
Yes.